Alright, we are back. If you missed my last intro video, my name is Nicholas Gross, aka the RV Fit Guy, and I'm going to add as much value as I can for you guys in these videos. So if you have any ideas or topics that you want me to cover, please message me and let me know what they are. Let me know what's on your mind, and I will be sure to cover them. So in this video, we're going to talk about how the idea for the RV Fit Guy was born and how it's evolved over the last couple of months, because where it's at now is nothing like how it started. So it started by me visualizing what my ideal life looks like broken down all the way to what does my ideal day look like what time am I getting up, what am I doing when I get up, what's my morning routine, what am I doing throughout the day, what sort of interactions am I having, what's the weather like, what are the sounds, sights, smells, tastes. You want to use all of your senses and as clearly as you can visualize what your ideal day, what your ideal life looks like. And if you want to dive deeper into this whole visualization thing, again, drop me a message. I'd be happy to talk to you and tell you some of the tips and tricks that I've kind of picked up over the last couple of years. Really, I've been working on this whole visualization thing. It's a skill that's kind of learned, and there's a lot of the pro athletes use it. They visualize before they hit a golf ball or shoot a free throw, the trajectory the ball is going to go, and that way when you actually do it, it's not something new, it's like you've done it before. So anyways, that'll be maybe I'll just go ahead and do a separate video on that. So I started to visualize where my ideal life is taking place, and specifically what the weather's like, because the weather's very high up on my list of must-haves. I really want to be somewhere where the weather is nice year-round. I am not a fan of these Michigan winters, so I quickly realized that Michigan wasn't the place that I was visualizing in the vision for my ideal life. Okay, so if not Michigan, then where? Well, the truth is, I really don't know, because I've never really been to many other places. I've visited places on vacation and stuff like that. I've been to Vegas and all that stuff, but it's nothing like actually living there. My ideal life is a life that is full of passion, fun, adventure, but most importantly, one that's purposeful and intentional. And there's really nothing intentional about me living here in Michigan. My grandpa moved here in I think it was the 50s, to work at a Cadillac plant in Detroit here, and my family's been here ever since. That's really the only reason that I'm living in Michigan right now. So that brought up two very important decisions that I had to make. One around my living situation, my physical location on the planet, and one around my business and career. Because if you remember from the last video, I mentioned that I'm a third-generation electrician. My grandpa was an electrical contractor. My uncle actually bought the company that him, my dad, and myself worked for when the previous owner retired. And that was in 2010. And for the past 10 years, the plan has been for me to buy the electrical company when my uncle retires. That sounds like a really good opportunity, right? And it is. It's a great opportunity. It's not a small residential electrical company. We're not putting in ceiling fans and changing people's light bulbs when they burn out. It's a commercial and industrial union shop out of Detroit. So we're building office buildings, schools, hospitals, working in the manufacturing plants, big projects like that. So there's a lot of potential to make a lot of money, but beyond that money, what's even more important to me is that freedom that I value. because you can make money anywhere. There's a million ways to make money. But what's more important to me than the whole money side is the freedom. So I'm very, very curious. Are any of you guys at a fork in the road like this? Like you got some major life decisions to make? I'd love to hear from you if you are. Or maybe some of you know and feel deep down that the road you're on isn't leading where you want it to go, but there isn't a fork or a side road or even a two-track to take a different direction. It's just a tree-lined road. Well, you might not be able to see it now, but right on the other side of those trees is a vast network of roads that lead in every direction you can imagine. Probably directions you haven't even imagined yet. You just have to do the work to chop down some of those trees and carve your own path to get to the road that's going to take you where you want to go. But first, you need to be very, very clear on where it is you want to go. That way, when you come across that road, it'll be a very easy, simple, black and white, hell yes or hell no decision. How do you know or figure out where it is you want to go, you ask? Glad you asked. What I did was build a list of criteria, like a dating profile, for this potential business that I want to build. And then from there, you can figure out which businesses are and aren't going to work just by process of elimination. So for me, my criteria are, I want a business that I can run from anywhere, because I got to have that freedom. Freedom is number one on my list of must-haves. I want a business that can generate income 24/7, like some level of passivity, because I don't want to be trading time for money, because that's what I'm doing now. And when you start off, you're going to be putting a lot of hours in, like to build businesses, but I want to have some sort of a plan to make it more passive as I go on. I want a business that has a positive impact on people's lives. And I want a business that is in line with one of my passions. That way, I already have skills that I can leverage, and I'm not starting totally from scratch. You're not going to have every skill that you need right off the bat. Like, there's a lot of skills that I have to learn to make this whole thing work, including making videos, right? This is my first time making videos, so I'm learning all this as I go. And don't worry about picking the wrong thing, because you're going to end up contemplating with yourself, oh, is this right? Is it not? Oh, maybe there's something better. And you're going to get in that analysis paralysis, right, and end up doing nothing. So build your list of criteria, like what are your must-haves, what are the necessities, and then from that list, start thinking about and looking at different types of businesses that fit that criteria, that check all the boxes. So at this point in the process, I know that Michigan is not the place that's in my vision when I visualize my ideal life. But if not Michigan, then where? The truth is, I really don't know, because I've never been too many places. Like, I've visited places on vacation and stuff like that, but that's nothing like living there. So that's when the idea hit me. What if I buy an RV and build this business that I can run from anywhere and cruise around the country to places where I think it would be cool to live and just check them out? I thought that was a badass idea. My coach thought that was a badass idea, so right away we got to thinking, okay, well, what kind of business can we run from anywhere? Can I run from an RV? And my first thought was an Amazon FBA business. Right? The FBA stands for Fulfilled by Amazon, so you don't actually physically touch any of the products. They just get shipped right to Amazon fulfillment centers, and they deal with the customers and all that. So that seemed like a good idea. It checked all the boxes. But then we started thinking, okay, well, what am I going to sell on this Amazon business? And so we were thinking of, like, what do I already use or know something about? So I started listing off the categories, like product categories. And then I was thinking, well, pretty soon I'm going to be using RV stuff. And bam, that was perfect. That's perfect alignment. Sell RV products that will support my RV journey around the country. Okay. Now, what's one of my passions that I can combine all of this with? How about health and fitness? Because, again, from my last video I mentioned, I started working with my first trainer when I was 14 years old. And health and fitness has been a passion of mine ever since. And if I'm going to be traveling around in an RV, I'm not going to have my normal gym, and it might be hard to be consistent with my workouts, and that's an issue for me. So if I can combine the RV, the freedom, with health and fitness, one of my passions, and skills, that I already have. I've had an online business before where I drop shipped. It was car audio business, actually. I started when I was 14 years old. I built the website, filed an LLC, and got my EIN, my tax number, and I would order car audio parts from the manufacturers, and they would ship it right to the customers. I never had to touch any of the products. But anyways, so there it is. That's how the idea started. It started as an Amazon business because it checked all the boxes, and now it's morphed into an Amazon business that sells workout equipment that's designed for the RV lifestyle. So for the next couple of weeks, I was drawing all these ideas that I had and all these concepts for, like, just different types of workout equipment that would work specifically for RVs and were built around RVs and that RV lifestyle. And then the idea hit us. What if I build a custom gym, a full gym, in an RV? That would be badass. So now I'm looking at what types of RVs can we do that with. And right away, like, bam, the toy haulers. The toy hauler RVs have a garage in the back that's already built for weight. So I'm going to buy a toy hauler RV, and this is going to be sick. It's going to be a sick RV in the first place, and then, man, I'm taking that whole garage and I'm turning it into a mobile gym. And I'm going to do a whole video series just on buying the RV and building that gym in it. And it is, you don't want to miss that. It's going to be awesome. So at this point, we have the Amazon business. It's morphed into a custom gym in my RV, right? And it's also going to be my trademark, because that's what's going to set me apart from the crowd. When I pull up somewhere, we want to enter this thing in RV shows and everything. They're going to be like, hey, aren't you the guy that built that full custom gym in his RV? Like, that's insane. And I can say, hell yeah, that's me. I'm the RV fit guy. There was actually a few names, a whole bunch of names that we brainstormed before we landed on the RV fit guy, but that one just has a nice ring to it. It's got the RVFG initials, just roll off the tongue. Huh? What do you guys think? Since then, I've thought of badass ideas for an app. Still the online programs that go along with all this custom equipment that I'm going to be selling on Amazon. And we have this thing figured out all the way to franchising. And man, I'm really excited about the franchising, because that's going to allow me to help people in two different ways, right? There's a lot of people that are trying to live this full-time RV lifestyle and have that freedom, but they're not sure how to make it work. Well, if those people are already passionate about health and fitness, like, I will have already paved the way, and I can just show them, like, here's the standard operating procedures. Like, they can just buy one of these franchises, and that'll enhance their lives. Plus, the more of these RVFG mobile gyms we can get in RV parks around the world, the more people we can impact positively. Another one of my criteria, right? So we can have a positive impact on more people and help more people stay healthy and fit, and man, just allow them to live the most epic lives and enjoy their adventures and their life on the road and their freedom to the fullest. So that's kind of a peek into how this whole RVFG thing, this RV Fit Guy, evolved from first figuring out that I was on the wrong road to, okay, building a list of criteria for a business that will get me on the right road. Coming up with the idea, right? Starting off with the Amazon business, and then the more we thought about it and just, meditated on it, have journaled about it for a few weeks, and it morphed into, the online programs, one-on-one coaching, group coaching, and like boot camps that I can put on while I'm at RV parks with this full custom gym that's in my RV, all the way to franchising. And we have this broken down into 3 phases. So again, this is something that I'm just now building, this RVFG business, the RV Fit Guy. And I want to take you guys along for this journey so you can see what it's like to build a business from scratch and leave that W-2 job. So hopefully this sparked some ideas for you guys and maybe helped you figure out if you're on the right road, right? If the road you're on is leading where you want it to go, or if you're not, how to chop down those trees and get to that right road. Man, again, I'd love to hear from you guys. Please shoot me some messages with ideas, topics you want me to cover. Look forward to hearing from you guys. Thanks again for joining me. My name is Nicholas Gross, aka the RV Fit Guy, and I will see you in the next video.